Just a little disclaimer, I put about 6 hours of work into this video. I should have wrote a better script, but unfortunately I didn't. I do feel kind of regretful about that. But I hope anyone who watches this video has a great day and whatnot, and enjoy the video. And let me know your opinions and comments right down below. Hell yeah. Hey, what's going on everybody, Just Save here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a different type of video. Now let me make this clear, I'd rather not have gameplay in my video, but unfortunately enough I am very budgeted on my equipment, so I have to record this off of Share Factory and whatnot. So I just want to make that clear. For anybody that is new to this channel, I don't typically upload videos like this, but I thought this was a video I really wanted to make. So yeah, if you guys are new or returning, if you guys have not, go subscribe and let me know in the comment section if you want more videos of this nature. And yeah, so in this video I'll be covering why SpongeBob has been one of the greatest shows in existence, and why there is no other show that can compare and rank itself higher than SpongeBob. This video is inspired by the YouTube creator Lemon, and his video will be down in the description below. So this video could get pretty lengthy, guys, so make sure to sit back, relax, and enjoy and watch this video and hear me out. So for me to sit here and say that SpongeBob is the greatest show of all time, well, that can obviously be a complete hyperbole, which, if you guys don't know, the word hyperbole is an extreme over-exaggeration. So it could definitely be an exaggeration, but to sit here and say for sure that this show was definitely one of the greatest shows to ever walk on to the public TV, well, I can definitely sit here and vouch for that. So let's go back in time. May 1st, 1999. Hey, that kind of rhymed. But May 1st, 1999, SpongeBob has just aired. Help Wanted is the very first episode that has popped onto TV. You guys have definitely seen it by now. It's one of the most amazing, best episodes of SpongeBob, and it's what started the whole entire series. Now, OG SpongeBob is what everybody's going to talk about, and for all of you guys who don't really know what the word OG means, it means original. It's the true form of SpongeBob. That's where it originated from, and that is where the greatest episodes of all time have came from. Now, if I'm going to speak OG, I'm going to speak seasons 1 through 3 here. And I could sit here and I will say that season 4 is not that bad. Personal opinion, of course. But personally, guys, I believe that SpongeBob seasons 1 through 3 was the greatest times of all SpongeBob. Now, SpongeBob was just an amazing hit ever since it came out. It was one of the first really good TV shows from Nickelodeon. Of course, in its time there were shows like Rocko's Modern Life, Hey Arnold, there were Rocket Power. I'm just trying to think of a couple things right off the top of my head, but SpongeBob was the show that I guess a lot more children, and I would also say adults, turned to, with so much humor for not even just kids but also for adults. The show is absolutely amazing. Now, looking at it from this perspective, the original episodes were one of the greatest times of SpongeBob, or not one, but was the greatest times of SpongeBob ever. And the reason being for that is just because it was more creative, it was more better. There was so much more creative art. There was so much more creative aspects. When it first came out, they were doing things such as hand drawing the show. The show was hand drawn and stop motion film, kind of. I don't really know the exact term for it, and I am pretty sure there are other YouTube videos out there that are covering this exact same topic with more detailed perspectives. I think Lemon, as well, as I mentioned him earlier, he covered it in a pretty detailed way. I'll leave his link in the description also. But it was an amazing, unique art style with a completely unique difference. Every other show was your typical, oh, there's a couple humans and this and that, but this show was from the marine biologist Steven Hillenburg, which I will get into later. He came up with something that is sea animals, a sponge, actually it's an octopus, but they call him Squidward, but he's an octopus. They have, of course, a sponge, an octopus. They have a crab. They have a sea star, and out of the complete random, They also have a squirrel, which is pretty interesting. And they also have a plankton, which is the arch nemesis. The idea of the episodes that they create are just amazing. SpongeBob working at a fast food place that's absolutely a hit, everyone loves it, and it's just overall an amazing time. OG SpongeBob is one of the greatest things of all time. I'm not going to sit here, I'm not going to take away from the newer episodes, because the newer episodes are insanely amazing as well. But if anybody ever has a chance to sit down and just watch OG SpongeBob, or even rewatch it, I'd highly recommend it. That's something I do time to time. It's an amazing thing. I know my points don't seem very structured. It sounds like I'm just speaking pretty untalentedly. I really don't know the word to get into it. I would say pretty unknowledgeable, which I will get into more knowledgeable facts later on in this video. So yeah. Now, if you guys do not believe SpongeBob is popular, which I'm pretty sure the people who have clicked on this video do believe me, but just getting into more so how this video is structured here, and how I'm showing that SpongeBob is an extremely popular, one of the greatest things of all time, why don't you go try doing this challenge, inspired by Lemon. Once again, link for the original video will be down in the description. Pull out your phone right now, or your computer, or whatever. Go through your social media platform that you use the most. Instagram, Twitter, MySpace. You know, no one fucking uses MySpace, but Facebook, whatever. Right? Go through any of those and let me know how long it takes you to find a SpongeBob photo. It probably won't take very long, because SpongeBob, like I said, is extremely popular, and you can find it literally everywhere. It's taking over, or not taking, it already has taken over the social media. It has taken over so much to the point where it literally is one of the most relevant things around. There's so many memes and everything else about it, and I honestly highly recommend you guys, if you guys have not, go watch it. And I'm going to get more structured into why it's more of a real phenomenon as a TV show and a cartoon in just a moment. SpongeBob is one of the most amazing shows out there, and it's a very successful show. In fact, per year it makes around $8 billion, even when they had some downfalls to their show, and when their show was in a shittier, rougher time. Now, to say this nonetheless, SpongeBob seasons 1 through 3 were very good. It was an OG time. Everybody loves to watch the 1 through 3 episodes, even still to this day. Even with Steven Hillenburg back on the staff, or was back on the staff, which I'll get into later. This show was extremely amazing. It was way better back then than it'll ever be now. But seasons 4, I think 4 was okay, but we're just going to count it in here because off of popular opinion. Seasons 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 were Steven Hillenburg less. They didn't have them at all, and the show went to complete garbage. The creative writing got worse. It turned more into a Squidward torture porn. For the people who do not know what a Squidward torture porn is, it is when Squidward is being absolutely tortured for no reason. He's just trying to go through his absolute life. He's trying to just deal with his life the way he should, and not only getting emotionally tortured, but he was actually getting physically tortured in the show, which was completely disgusting to watch. I actually turned on my TV. I was trying to see if there was SpongeBob on before this. That's kind of why I got this idea. Plus, I seen the Lemon video, but I seen that video, I don't know, like 6-7 months ago. Like, I've seen it a long time ago. Once again, his original link will be down in the description below. But anyhow, Squidward torture porn is not a good thing to watch, and I ended up seeing the video, or not the video, but the episode rather, of him getting like his eyebrow peeled off because of his annoying noises and stubbing his toe. And it wasn't even just stubbing his toe, it was like nearly fucking decapitating his toe, if that was even a thing, decapitating it. And overall, it's just like, damn, dude, that's what they really did. And so Steven Hillenburg joined onto the staff, which ended up making the show 20 times better again. It made the show even more enjoyable to watch. But of course, you know, I still don't enjoy the art style in the show anymore. I think some of the creative writing could be better. I really don't like watching the newer SpongeBob myself. I think it's just because I'm an OG supporter over here, and I'm kind of, I guess, what the cool kids will call a D-rider for original SpongeBob. But overall, the show has definitely made a amazing return, and I gotta say, it is absolutely amazing to see SpongeBob back up on its feet. Sweet victory. Hell yeah, man. The show got resurrected, back up on its feet. Amazing to hear, right? But with the show getting back up on its feet, a lot of very negative things have been brought up to our attention. Stephen Hillenburg, about 2-3 years ago, was diagnosed with a disease called ALS, or more people know it as Lou Gehrig's disease. And when people heard that, the news was devastating, because ALS is not one of those things you can typically beat. You will, even if you surpass the exact amount, which usually it kills you in about 1.5 to 2 years. Even if you surpass that amount of years, you will still live with it forever. The disease will never stop. So it was very unfortunate to hear about that. I just remember sitting in my room, and then I was looking through Facebook, and I saw that Stephen Hillenburg was diagnosed with ALS. And the only issue with me was, I don't really get emotional over many things, but I nearly cried. I was like, dude, this is not good, because I was a huge fan of SpongeBob, and I still am. And it was very unfortunate to hear the news, and very recently hearing that he ended up tragically passing away from ALS. So if you guys don't know Stephen Hillenburg, I'll put a picture up right here on the screen for him, in honor of Stephen Hillenburg, of course, and the amazing, successful SpongeBob that he has created. I appreciate all your work, Stephen Hillenburg. I just wanted to throw that into this video before I even got on to an autobiography about him. So yeah. So like I said, I was going to be doing a mini little autobiography on Stephen Hillenburg and how SpongeBob eventually came to mind. Now, here's the thing. Stephen Hillenburg was a marine biologist who had a passion for marine biology, of course, and he later on decided to create a comic called Bob the Sponge, which I'll put an image up on screen for you guys to see what Bob the Sponge is. And with Bob the Sponge, it wasn't really one of his major success. It was a comic that he wanted to create for children to look at it and to be like, okay, this is what it's all about. I want to learn about marine biology. And that's what he wanted. That was his initial thing that he wanted to deliver to children. But overall, it was, I believe, copyrighted of some sort. There was something that happened with it. I don't have full details on it. I'm sorry about that one if you guys are looking for full details. I just don't have it with this case. But SpongeBob, of course, wasn't going to stop there for Stephen Hillenburg. He later on decided to create another thing called Spongebob. Once again, I'll put another image up on screen. And Spongebob would be the very similar topic of Bob the Sponge, but he remodeled it and did it his own way. Now, the only problem, I believe, that happened with this one was, once again, a copyright issue that just overall screwed him over. So there was only one last thing he wanted to do. He thought of, okay, Spongebob, Bob the Sponge, okay, I did all that, I like the design I made, so why don't we just do this? What about Spongebob Squarepants? He made that the iconic show that we now have today. And now we all love SpongeBob SquarePants. That was just the initial story about how he created SpongeBob SquarePants, and fortunately made us one of the greatest masterpieces of all time, but unfortunately has passed away to no longer create SpongeBob episodes, which really is truly, to this day, just an upsetting part of my life, and I'm pretty sure of many other people's lives. But hopefully SpongeBob gets a chance to continue and work on its ways. So one of the most unfortunate things I would say is the fact that Stephen Hillenburg unfortunately was not able to see the 20th year anniversary episode to SpongeBob, and before they did anything with this 20th year anniversary episode, they did a follow-up to it by doing an Every SpongeBob Ever marathon, and it was to eventually have everybody lead it all up to the 20th year anniversary episode. and it was pretty good at start, but unfortunately they kind of cut it short. That was on Nickelodeon, that was not on SpongeBob, but I just figured mentioning because why the hell not. SpongeBob, yeah, there was not every SpongeBob ever. They stopped it around like day 4 or 5 after the first 4 seasons. We don't know if it was because of ratings or whatever the hell it was, but I just figured to mention that. But it was very bad to see that. I personally did not get a chance to watch the 20th anniversary episode. If you guys did, let me know how it was. But it just still blows, man. I still feel I feel extremely bad for, you know, Steven Hillenburg when he had to go through and unfortunately passed away and couldn't even see his show reach the 20-year mark and the amazing outcome of what happened. And once again, man, rest in peace to Steven Hillenburg. I appreciate. And yeah, I appreciate all the work that you've done, Steven Hillenburg. And I'm going to bring you guys to my final point on why I believe SpongeBob is the greatest, most amazing show ever. So, I think SpongeBob is the most amazing show ever for this main reason that Emp Lemon has also brought up. It's between two characters, SpongeBob and Squidward. Of course, the character development is extremely awesome, and there's a lot of relatable points to characters, but if I think there's two of the most relatable characters, it would be SpongeBob and it would be Squidward. They kind of seem like they're a friendship, not so friendship type of deal, but the thing here is that SpongeBob is more of an optimistic little sponge that doesn't give two shits about the world and is just trying to go on with his everyday life and have fun and be that cool little kid. Even though he's not a kid, he's more of an adult, but be that cool little kid that every little kid wants to be. So the kids look up more onto SpongeBob's side rather than Squidward's, and they look at him as some sort of weird villain, bad guy type of dude. But Squidward is more of a actual adult who works a typical 9-to-5 job, dealing with his responsibilities and his crushed dreams that he knew that could never have happened. So he works at a fast food place just so he can provide for himself and support himself, and that's basically all Squidward is. So all the adults would look up to Squidward. I'm not saying that they would look up to SpongeBob as a villain, they would just look up to him as someone goofy and a funny way of fashion that they exactly executed the show in. So overall, yeah, that is my reasons why I believe SpongeBob is the greatest show of all time. I should have wrote a better script. I do apologize. But in conclusion, those are my reasons why I believe that there will never be another SpongeBob SquarePants ever, and why I think it is the greatest show to ever exist on TV. With everything I've mentioned, I will not lie, this is all my personal opinion, but maybe I got some of you guys to realize that this could be, or this was, an impact on your life. A big impact, I should say. And if you guys have never seen a SpongeBob episode, I highly suggest coming underneath that rock and to sit down, relax, and watch some SpongeBob for yourselves so you get yourself a nice little taste of what I've been talking about. I do highly recommend watching some SpongeBob, as this show is, like I said, the greatest show ever. If you had to pick a season to start with the first episode, season 1, work your way up to season 3, and maybe if you're feeling it, go sit down, go relax, and go watch the newer seasons and make yourselves an opinion. So maybe if you guys do enjoy them, you guys can attest to my opinions, of course. And for the people who have seen SpongeBob and are a bit older, like I am 16, of course, but you know, for me it's still a nostalgic moment. But even for people older than 16, in their 30s, 40s, etc., who have had children who watch SpongeBob, I highly suggest to sit down, relax yourself, and watch SpongeBob's show. It's an amazing show, and I highly recommend watching it. And yeah, so what I mean by a bit older is just if you're older than the age demographic of SpongeBob, such as, you know, younger kids are typically watching SpongeBob, I recommend watching it, sitting down, relaxing, and rewatching the show for yourselves. And yeah, I want to thank everybody for coming to this video. I hope you guys have a great night or day, and I hope my points were pretty good in this video. Love you guys all. This is a hard-ass video to edit, but yeah, love you guys all. Have a great night or day. Save out. Peace.